I would like to ask the Minister for Policy and Reform whether the average number of government consultations has declined over the last 7 years.
Calling the Minister for Policy and Reform, Mr Thomas.
Thank you, Mr President, and I appreciate greatly the question from the Honourable Member from Arbory, Castletown and Malew for the ability to clarify some data. Over the past 7 years, the total number of external consultations undertaken each year has declined from 71 in 2011-12 to 61 in 2018-19. However, the statistics at a high level don't give us the full picture of government consultations. During 2017, a set of principles for engagement and consultation were introduced, and these began to broaden the approach on how we use consultations in government. Previously, consultations were predominantly a formal exercise that took place in a written format. This new set of principles, however, introduced to us the concept of early engagement with stakeholders and informal consultations, and basically the best mechanism for the particular situation. They provide better guidance on who, how and when it is best to consult, encouraging us to think about how we gain input from those who may be impacted by any changes to policy or legislation and when we might do this, and to consider the value of asking throughout the development of policy and legislation rather than at the end. The new principles also ask us to think about other means of engagement and consultation, focus groups, workshops, surveys, which can all be valuable. To support improved engagement and consultation in practice, the Cabinet Office also introduced and installed a new online consultation hub. Information prior to the introduction of a consultation hub is very difficult to verify. However, with the hub, we are in a far better position to analyse the type, number and volume of engagement and consultation exercises, as well as the data within them. So, for instance, to return to the initial figures I provided, although there have been 61 external engagement and consultation exercises undertaken through the consultation paper in the past 12 months, 12 of these were private and targeted surveys with particular stakeholder groups. So this leaves just 49 formal and informal consultations undertaken. So I could have compared 71 in 2011-12 to 49 now if I limited it to traditional consultations. In summary, in 2016, through the Programme for Government, we committed to an outcome that we would see a future with an open and transparent government which is engaging effectively with both Tynwald and the public, and I believe we are creating that future in part through the use of better consultation and engagement. Thank you, Mr President.
Supplementary question, Mr Moorhouse.
Thank you, Mr President. Thank you, Minister. A lot of detail there. In terms of the background figures, the number of consultations does appear to be falling, but there's that overall proliferation. Does the Minister give us his word that he will continue to try and place an emphasis on only having consultations where they're really essential and will provide us with really useful information?
Minister to reply.
That's what we'll continue to do, and that's what we've been doing. That's what we'll continue to do, and we'll also try and improve engagement in all sorts of ways. So focus groups, workshops, surveys rather than consultations. These are all devices that I mentioned in my answer. We also try and think much more about the questions. In the old days, I can think of consultations, for instance, from the original rates modernisation consultation that was blatantly leading. We don't do that anymore. We actually have all of the questions validated, not being blatantly leading. Thank you very much, Mr President.